I think everybody can clearly remember the scandal that rocked Major League Baseball when the Houston Astros were caught cheating by stealing signs through video cameras. They were smashing trash cans. They were making a concerted effort to try to get an advantage on the teams that they were going up against. I believe in the 2017 season and the 2018 season as well. So the what if question that I'm going to pose to Kevin is simply this: is what if the Houston Astros had not cheated? What would the result have been for Major League Baseball as a whole?
So, first and foremost, my opinion on this is 100% my opinion and mine alone. I do not care if I share it with anybody else, and I don't care if I come across rude. We all know, we've all played baseball. Stealing signs is not illegal. Everybody knows, you try to pick up on the other team's signs, whether that's pick up on eye contact, hand signals, anything you can do, scouting reports, it's okay. It's how Houston went about it that makes it illegal. With the camcorder and the trash can in the locker room or in the dugout, obviously telling basically all batters that are up, hey, this is coming, or lay off. So, Kyle, I'm just going to really quick bounce it back to you because you played a lot longer than I did. I'm going to get into my opinion on the what if segment. You're sitting in the batter's box, and I don't know if you were a contact hitter, power hitter, whatever. The point is, you got a fucking curveball coming at you inside, and you got to just sit on it. What are you doing, bro? You are you taking that? Are you sitting? Are you watching it? Like, just think about this. Your entire season, you will know at every at-bat what the fuck's coming to you. Is that not an unfair, unspeakable advantage? Is that not ridiculous?
If I got a curveball coming at me and I know that's coming, if it's somewhere anywhere near the center of the plate, it's going to be similar to what Jose Altuve did against Aroldis Chapman. That's what's going to happen because I know what's coming. And the one thing that I was actually really good at was actually hitting curveballs. I remember that we used to have a pitching machine in the back of our gym, and we could set it to throwing curveballs. And I remember this one batting drill that we did was just trying to hit a curveball. And there were some players on the team that could hit it, but I was one of the only players that could actually consistently hit off of that curveball the way that they set the machine up. Now, you transition that into a game situation where I know it's coming from whoever is sending me the signal to tell me that it's going to be a curveball. All I got to do is just sit on it, wait till it at least looks good coming towards me, and then it's going yard. It's that simple. It wouldn't matter if it's a curveball. It wouldn't matter if it's a fastball, whether it's a changeup. If I know it's coming, I'm like, okay. If it's close to the plate, if it looks good enough, I'll take a whack at it, see what happens. And more than likely, if it's a curveball and it hangs over the plate, it's out of there like Jose Altuve did against Chapman. It's that simple.
So I'm just obviously going to get back to the topic. I just wanted to get your thoughts because, again, you played so much longer, and obviously everyone always brings up the topic of, oh, it's not that serious, or, oh, people use steroids. And I'll get into that in a few minutes. I just wanted to get into the topic of what would have happened if they would have never cheated. I don't know. Baseball would be fucking normal. We wouldn't have had this whole ordeal. We wouldn't have had to go see why Rob Manfred is absolutely ridiculous and a completely spineless commissioner in this league. If the Houston Astros don't cheat, this has nothing to do with the Yankees. Like, I'm just letting everybody know this is complete bias aside. We obviously don't know if Houston gets to where they are. We don't know if they have the season that they do. We don't know if they even make it to the postseason. And if they do, if they succeed the way that they did. I truly and honestly believe the Los Angeles Dodgers would be currently working on a dynasty similar to what the Yankees did in the 90s. Obviously, in 2017, the Astros beat the Dodgers to win their first World Series. The following year, the Dodgers lost to the Red Sox in the World Series, in which Alex Cora was the bench coach for the Astros the season before, and he brought that method completely over to Boston, and they won the World Series. So, I mean, I truly and honestly believe the team that the LA had, the core, the fundamentals, everything, management from top to bottom. I think that the LA Dodgers were completely robbed of a multitude of championships. And I think that the punishment for these scandals was absolutely bullshit. I think it was the softest thing that could have been done. I think that we need to reevaluate what major sporting events. I think we need not sporting events. I think we need to revisit the punishment for what's like the NFL, the NBA. What are those or those organizations or those like associations, whatever the entities? I think the major sports entities, the four families, whatever the hell you want to call it. I think we truly, honestly need to reevaluate the punishments that are handed down because AJ Hinch and Alex Cora was suspended for the year. They lost some draft picks and they were fined the maximum amount of money that they could have been fined, which was like $1 million. Major League Baseball teams.
They got fined $5 million.
Like Major League owners wipe their ass, bro. We're talking about franchises being multiple billions of dollars, $5 million. So you're telling me in the NCAA, right? You can take away a national championship and a Heisman Trophy for a student cheating on an exam or receiving money to go to a school, but a team that enhances their complete odds to winning a championship gets a slap on the wrist and all of the players walk scot-free because the MLB made a deal with them that said, we just need you to publicly admit that you did this and you will receive immediate immunity. What did they really lose? What does that encourage? Nothing. That doesn't deter them from doing it again. That doesn't take away another team's opportunity to go and cheat their own way. That basically just said, well, we got away with it, so fuck it. I'll take a suspension for a year as long as I get to keep my banner. I'll take a $5 million fine that I don't have to pay for in regards to the players or the coaching staff. The owner's going to pay that. What is $5 million? It's just dropping the fucking bucket. To these people, I think that this is ridiculous. I think that Rob Manfred completely needs to just resign based off of just these punishments alone because we already talked about a couple of episodes ago or last episode about what we need to do about getting this man on second and extra innings thing over with because Rob Manfred's already been, I don't know, a baby back bitch since it started. I hate how he runs this league. And we're talking about you legitimately looked these players in their eye, knowing they cheated and said, it's going to be okay. He'll pay for it. What does that do? That's like telling a kid not to steal and then saying, yo, you're not going to get in trouble for it. Just let me know you did it. Like, he's just going to steal again. It ruins the integrity of the game. It ruins the integrity of the sport. And I truly and honestly believe that the Dodgers were robbed. And I think that Houston they needed their title stripped immediately. Like they didn't deserve it. They just owned up to cheating that whole season. 162 fucking games, bro. That's a whole, not including postseason. You cheated the whole way to get where you wanted to. There's no way they succeed as much as they did if they didn't cheat.
I know you're just super tight about that because of the Yankees. There's a
but
part,
it's besides that.
I know, but I'm just saying that adds a little bit more fuel to the fire when it comes to this. Of course so it's just, look, it's just one of those things. Like when I look back at this whole situation, I think the part that really kind of bothers me is the whole player immunity thing, because they directly were impacted by this because now you know what's coming towards you. Like when it comes to these pitches that are either going to be a fastball, a changeup, a curveball, like whatever the case may be, they're all in on it. They know exactly what's coming. And I do think that the whole immunity thing was kind of bogus simply because
bullshit.
When you look at the result when you look at what happened going into spring training that next year, all of those Houston Astros players were acting super smug about the fact that they just got off scot-free without really any sort of reprimand because they didn't get anything. They just went into the next season without any sort of suspension, any sort of penalty. And it's like, okay. It's like, we don't even really care that much. It's like, we got away with it. So what? Deal with it. And I do think that sends kind of a wrong message. And I'll go this far. I think the situation that Houston went through, I think it was worthy of an entire year suspension, the entire season. I'm talking about everything. Players don't play, the team doesn't play for a whole year. You're gone. But the only reason why that probably wouldn't be practical is I remember the MLB was kind of talking about this when they were, I guess, thinking about the whole what are we going to do to penalize them. The MLB was worried about the potential standoff between them and the player union and all the grievances that were going to be filed. And the MLB didn't think that they were going to be able to win most of the grievances filed against the players or against the MLB from the players, I should say. So that's kind of like one of the little finer details into why those players got a slap on the wrist. If it were up to me, though, I'm just saying, if I were in Rob Manfred's shoes, that cheating scandal is probably worthy of a year suspension for the entire team and everybody who's associated with that team. But it's really hard to actually suspend a professional baseball team for a full season. I mean, you're talking about millions, hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue loss if you suspend an entire team. And something like that, like when it comes to a professional team, that would be unprecedented if they'd actually gone through with it. But I don't know how practical it would have been.
Do you think that the title should have been recused?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So
it was the whole year. It was the whole year. If it was like
if
it was a part of the year, it'd be different. But if it was the entire year,
bro, that's why I bring up the point. Reggie Bush lost his Heisman. I don't remember exactly what it was. He did something he wasn't supposed to. Was it the boosting was it because he received money or was it because he cheated?
I couldn't tell you.
Like in terms of like in the classroom, regardless, right? So you're telling me a kid who is going to a school to play a sport receives a certain amount of money that is against the rules.
Improper benefits is what they say. Improper benefits.
Does it affect his play on the field? Does it change? Does he cut less because he has money in his pockets? Does he not perform? Does he have any additional physical attributes that are going to make him play football better?
They're going to make the case that it affects his eligibility. That's what they'll make.
So him receiving money that doesn't affect his play.
No, it doesn't affect his play.
But so the people on the Astros, the players on the Astros that literally are being paid to play this game, know exactly what's coming and is directly affecting their performance, doesn't lose the championship that they didn't deserve. Like, how do you take away someone's efforts and work from an entire season, whether that's college football or professionals? If someone had a great year, why are you taking away the thing that they worked so hard for because they received improper benefits? I only used it from this example because college is really quick to take things away from people and take titles away and make, draft classes and or should I say recruiting classes ineligible because of previous endeavors
and death penalties.
Yeah, but you're telling me that a professional team in which they already know they're not supposed to do that, in which they've already made it to the top of the top, in which they've already, assumed the position of a professional athlete, doesn't get reprimanded for doing something they shouldn't. Now, here's the steroid portion of it, right? So everybody knows the entire steroid scandal that has happened all across baseball for multitudes of years. So for those of you that are unaware, when you use the wood bat thing and you hit the string ball, you still have to make contact because, you can be as big as a house. And if you miss, that means you suck. So you can use as many steroids as you want. But if you're not putting the ball in play, what use are the steroids? Now, if you're juicing and you know what the pitches are coming, of course, you're going to crush every ball. But you can't compare. One is a performance-enhancing substance that doesn't make you better at the game. It makes you stronger, and it makes the contact that you do make with the ball a lot better or more powerful, should I say. But that doesn't make you a better baseball player. Mm-hmm. Cheating with sign stealing, if I know, like Kyle said, if I know a changeup's coming, or if I know to sit back because that's going to be outside, that makes my job as a contact hitter, which I was in high school, a shit ton easier because it goes, I'm not going to stretch out. I'm not going to try to extend this. I'm not going to try to extend this at bat. You know, I'm not going to try to stay alive because I already know if I hear that trash can banging and I know what two bangs is a curveball or no sound at all means fastball, I'm chilling. I don't got to worry about nothing.
Yeah.
But people are going to sit here and tell me that punishment was enough or the steroids are worse. No, dumbass. If the fucking ball doesn't go into play and I'm the strongest fucking person in the MLB, it doesn't make me a good baseball player. That makes me an idiot that can't hit. But if something's coming and I know it's coming and I can be this fucking skinny and I can take it outside, I'm going to fucking do it. And I've just had enough. It's bullshit. And I think that these players absolutely, like Kyle said, they should be suspended. It's some form of reprimanding. What the fuck does suspending a manager do? What does that do? He's going to be reinstated the next season.
He got fired, and now AJ Hinch is on the Detroit Tigers. So
Alex Cora's back on the fucking in the dugout with the Red Sox.
Yeah, I know.
So the players walk scot-free, the coaches get a slap, and the owners pay a fucking ticket. So the banner stays up there with an asterisk and all this shit. People are fucking talking about Barry Bonds should be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Meanwhile, he fucking juiced the majority of his goddamn career. And people are bitching about him going into the Hall of Fame, but nobody seems to give a shit about it. An entire team cheating to win a World Series. I don't give a fuck about no individual accolade, bro. You took a championship away from another team. You literally cheated every aspect of the game. Integrity and honor aside, bro. You literally said, bro, we got to win this any way possible. We're going to do it like this. No, absolutely not. This what if, this whole scenario it should be talked about more. And I think that all sporting events, all sporting organizations need to reevaluate the recusal of championships. If you cheat or if you do something that you shouldn't have done that season, college fucking does it. They'll take away all fucking rights to a damn school. They take away all fucking banners and recruiting classes and coaches and fines and discipline. Bro, the professionals that know they shouldn't do this. Not that a college kid shouldn't, but bro, grown men know they shouldn't be doing this and they get no punishment whatsoever. I think that's ridiculous, bro. You punishing kids more than you punishing grown men. That's what it comes down to. And I think that's fucking dumb.
There's not really a lot more else that I could add. I think you pretty much just hit the nail on the head.